Hi again, YouTube. So, tonight I have a little secret I'm going to share, just between you and I. Actually, as I've said, I have had many ideas for YouTube videos before I decided on doing whatever it is the heck that I'm doing now. The most recent one was for my previous job. I had actually started making videos and really had something going there. I had been process serving for a little while. One person heard that wrong and heard prostituting. That was an interesting conversation, let me tell you. And, process serving, it can be pretty boring most of the time. Really easy, but it can also be very unique, different every day. Can get a little dangerous, can get a little crazy. Great stories that go along with it. So I was filming in my car, so you'll notice a lot of vertical shots because I couldn't do it horizontally with my camera. And then I started training for private investigation. The one leads into the other very well. It's great on the job training for private investigating, and you can be working as you're, getting your license and whatnot. Well, it got to the point where I was doing more investigations and serving. I was running into a lot of red tape and some legal gray areas where I had to be really cautious.
Down with your cars is really stupid color! I'm gonna send my dog over to rape your fucking cat!
I couldn't even risk filming in the car because even the background could give something away. My face, the timing, obviously I never mentioned names. I was super careful, but it was just a little too risky, so I went ahead and scrapped that. Well, I came across some old videos of kind of a comical PSA about process serving, basically. And it goes along well with anybody else who has to work on the road, electricians, uh, installers, that sort of thing. So I wanted to share it with you guys. And I have a lot of funny stories about my time doing that, and maybe I'll share a few more if there's any interest in it. I still have to be a little careful, and I'll kind of avoid the investigation part of it, which, trust me, it makes me sound a lot cooler than I actually am. But wow, did I learn a lot of interesting things about the human condition. It's hard to describe exactly how a job like that makes one feel. When you're spending 3, 4 days, 12, 13 hours a day just watching people and everything they do, it's hard to describe. Let me get into it because you know me, I'm a babbler, but hey, if this is something you guys are interested in, I would love to throw in some of my old serving investigation stories and maybe I'll do like a rescue 911 reenactments. I think I can force some of my loved ones to do so. I don't know if they'll be my loved ones afterwards, but we'll give it a go. Um, as always, thank you so much for stopping by. And oh my gosh, I almost forgot the real star of the show. He's been kind of insisting this whole time because this is not about me. This is about Jack, you see. Say hi, Jack. Oh, you've been like clawing your way up here, and now you won't even look. Look at that face. Look at that face. Oh, he's evil. Cats are assholes, but they're so cute, aren't they? His name is actually Jackass. That is his full name. We call him Jack, but his full name is Jackass, and we love him for it. My sweet, loyal dog that would jump in front of a bullet for us, you know? And then we have Jack, who sleeps 16 hours a day and scratches us when we don't pet him enough. I'm a cat person and a dog person. That right there, I think that's some kind of psychological disorder. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Let's get to it, shall we?
Just a day in the life of just a very boring person, I guess, you know. But, who knows? Who knows, you know, maybe my calm nature, my gentle humor, you know, maybe it'll rub off on people. How come you drive so stupid? Just how come you drive so fucking stupid fucking high? Why? But you know, this job, it does take kind of a calm confidence. You have to have, you know, some situational awareness, be aware of your surroundings. You know, you got to be able to stay calm under pressure. And, you know, I kind of have a knack for that. Holy shit. Was that a bird? I think that was a bird. Actually, I think that was a red light. Oops. Left lane is for passing! It even says it on the fucking sign! It says right there! Slow traffic, where the fucking right the fucking horn is at! The fucking left lane is fucking passing! Fucking move! Please! Oh my god! Grace. That's the word. Graceful. Yeah.
I said, hopefully if things go well, I'll be with you tonight. So we turned into a house. One thing led to another. I get a door, I go hit the floor, looked up and it was a mother. I didn't know what to say. I was hanging by a string. She said, hey, you too. I was once like you and I like to do the wild thing. Wild. Love to do the wild thing. Wild.
And you know, just a basic grasp of the legal system. You know, at the very least, you should be an expert in, you know, what you're serving, what you're investigating the cases, that sort of thing. You know, I'm not saying you should be a lawyer or anything like that, but you need to know, you know, what the rules are for what you're serving. No, I don't get it. I don't see why a summons is that different from a subpoena. It's not like they don't both start with S. So stupid. Which also starts with S. do? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Hello? Sorry, I can't. Curorology. This is like all vowels and Z's. Who the fuck has a name like this? Mr. Geraldi. And obviously, if you are going to carry any weapons, you'll be well trained, be operational, be legal, be responsible with them. I think that's the most important thing to keep in mind. Education. It comes down to education, responsibility, safety, that sort of thing. Where the fuck did I put my gun? Did I leave it in the shower again? Oh shit. Oh yeah. I found the place no problem. It was really easy. Oh, your other server couldn't find it? Yeah, no, it was like right there. He must be so stupid. Oh no, bye. No, yes, right away. Goodbye. Gun! Gun! Here, gun! Pew, pew! Gun! I am gonna get so rich. Oops, shit. Hello, hold on. Hello? Shit. Hello? I know. No! I'm gonna cut you so bad. Oh, you wish I know cut you so bad. Oh, I'm gonna cut you. Ow! Fuck. I should pull over.
All fun and games. But there is one really important shout out I want to give in all seriousness. Um, in the job of process serving, which, I actually believed in, the due process. And I think it's really important. It saves taxpayers money and keeps cops and sheriffs from having to waste their time delivering papers. They shouldn't have to be doing that. So whenever I could do it and could avoid getting the sheriffs involved and having to do it, I liked it. And I never could have done my job without them. I worked with cops all over the state, and I also, went across state lines and worked in different states. And every single interaction I had with the police, the sheriffs, was always positive. In fact, several times they went out of their way to help me when it should have been the other way around. I'm supposed to be making their lives easier. So thank you for that. In a state like Colorado, you do not need a license to be a process server. So there's a lot of ones out there that give us a bad name. I took it very, very seriously. I think it depends on the background too. Um, these cops were amazing. There was one time that I had to hand over some paperwork to a sheriff, but the guy was literally, shooting at me. Well, shooting up in the air. I was on a dirt mountain road with a drop off on one end and mountain on the other end, and it was a loop. And he didn't want me up there. He was refusing to be served and shooting at me and trying to make me back my vehicle down the dirt road. And it got a little crazy, and it was a real small town. And the sheriffs that came up, they were amazing. I had a police officer, unfortunately, and don't take this wrong, doctors and lawyers, but they were usually the worst to serve. When they were in trouble, they like to think they were above the law and would do a lot to avoid it. I'm not saying that all doctors and yes, I see you, that all doctors and lawyers are like that, but that was my experience with the ones that needed to be served. And I had a cop who went out of his way to help me catch a doctor, even called him on the phone and threatened him if he didn't take the paperwork that he personally would come down and bring his buddies and come banging on the door with me. I am so grateful for what they do. And I often had to go to police departments and sheriff departments and bring them paperwork. I had a situation where I was actually, somebody hit me with their car trying to get away from being served. And one of the people involved in the case actually was a cop, and I was trying to help him out. What he did, his buddies did, what the detective did to work with me and help me, I was blown away. So this is my shout out to you guys, the Thin Blue Line, and what you do. And I swear, I know you guys probably hate most process servers, but some of us really are trying hard to save you guys. Gosh, Kat. Save you guys the trouble, and we are super grateful for you. So thank you. And remember, we're often giving people information about the worst day of their lives, or giving them information that they didn't know about some of the worst things in their lives. These aren't bad people when they react this way. So that's why I always try to be cool and understanding. And sometimes I even got to give really, really, really good news. I hated handing divorce papers. Sometimes people were thrilled to get them, but sometimes it was heartbreaking. And of course, protection orders, restraining orders could get interesting. Excuse me. Had firearms involved in that one as well a couple times. But again, like I said, if you guys seem interested, I'll go into these stories too, along with my other videos. But yeah, this is just a shout out to my Thin Blue Line guys out there, and thank you so much for doing what you do and putting up with us paper pushers. Oh yeah, and one more shout out. Clerks at the courthouse. Nothing would get done without you guys. You are the unsung flippin' heroes. I love you guys. Clerks are amazing. Thank you. The stuff you guys deal with on a daily basis, because I have sat in courthouses for many, many, many hours and seen the whole deal. And the fact that you don't just scream and throw things at people halfway through the day blows my mind. So that's my second shout out. Clerks at courthouses and people like the mayor's assistants, pretty much anybody working in these government buildings putting up with this. The ones that, aren't jerks, which was rare. The jerks were rare. Thank you again for putting up with us annoying paper pushers. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great one. And let me know if you want to see more of these funny stories. I've got them. All right. Good night, YouTube. Oh, good night, Jack. Yeah, I'm an asshole, but I'm a cute asshole. That was gross. That was super girly of me, wasn't it? But you kind of can't help it with him. Okay, no, for real. Good night.